All right, I'm back for my Boomer segment. Session lows are getting back to them again. And Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, is speaking, I think, in Chicago right now, talking about further gradual rate increases. Didn't say how gradual it'll be, 2, 3, or more. I think more than 3 would alarm this crowd, but we shall see. We got Lizzie McDonald here, Charlie Brady, Charlie Gasparino, and lead Capital CEOs. Steve. Now, with this gang, I have to speak extra loud because they cannot hear me. So, Lizzie, the first thing.
We're boomers and we're going
right, we're boomers. Hey, right. I'm a boomer. We're all boomers. So, the first thing the president is got to make clear to these markets is that this doesn't erupt into a trade war, because I think all the employment stuff and everything else is taking a back seat to this trade drama. What do you think?
You're right. And this is sort of like, watching this unfold, it's astonishing. It's sort of like ad hoc and on-the-fly policy with tweets that are unsafe at any speed, no matter how you look at it.
So you think there's a method to what the president's doing?
I don't think they have the exact plan ready to launch. I mean, I know they know, to say the least. I know what their fears are and the concerns are about the theft of intellectual property and the trade deficit and so forth. Pat Toomey said it well. Pat Toomey said he doesn't think that the use of tariffs is the right tool.
You're talking about the Republican senator from Pennsylvania.
Correct, thank you, to go after the trade, to the IP problem.
What I find astonishing is that, like, when Trump, I mean, we reported this in the last hour. Trump gets 2 major CEOs. I'm not going to say their names. I was given this information on the basis I would not relieve their names. If I've told you their names, you would say those are major, okay? They both called him up and they said, listen, do not do a tit-for-tat trade war. We understand that the Chinese rip us off. We understand, you have good motives, but you do a tit-for-tat trade war, it's going to unwind all the positive stuff with the economy. It's going to hurt the markets. Do a comprehensive thing so the markets say, at least we're thinking about it. And he was like, no, this is the way I'm going to negotiate. He really blew them off, and it was good advice. And it's so obvious today because we have a pretty good jobs number. I mean, a very good, actually, if you think about it. I know.
In other words, it's like a Goldilocks number.
Well, think about it. It's a decent number, and because of this trade garbage, the market's off.
But the thing that gets me, I mean, at least we're at the right country. We're hitting China, not our European allies. And I really I think that that's right. And I think he's really frustrated because he doesn't know what to do. But there's a positive step. And again, we were talking before. Follow what we did in the wake of Sputnik. Sputnik, we spent probably in today's dollars hundreds of billions.
By the way, that's even
in
before
schools.
My demo.
Yeah. Yes, I'm the senior boomer here. I'm the senior. I was a kid.
What's the Sputnik point? Wait,
I think right in the 50s or whatever. We should be spending billions of dollars on cyber education and things like this. Yes.
Who should be spending that money?
What?
Who should be spending that money?
America, instead of, other things. I mean, that's what where we're
But how does a war with China potentially help that?
A war with China doesn't. It hurts it because it hurts our economy.
So you wouldn't be going after China?
I would be going after China, but I would be going after China in a way that we don't have to worry about China
So you don't like the approach he's taking?
No, I don't, but he's got the right country.
Well, let me ask you, Charlie. One of the things that has been raised here, whether you agree or disagree with the approach that the president is taking, is that other presidents of either party have tried to get them to be fair traders, and I think we can all agree they're not. And failed.
We don't have free trade.
So he's, calling their bluff.
But what's rattling the markets right now, and Liz touched on this a moment ago.
Right now.
Rattling the markets is the uncertainty of it all. And markets hate uncertainty more than anything, even in bad news. And you touched on it at the top of the show. You said the president risks undoing his own rally. And that's what we're seeing.
How real do you think that is? The first time yesterday, I think, on this plane back from West Virginia, besides the Stormy Daniels comment, the one thing that stuck in my mind was the notion that, there's going to be some pain. It's the first time he's acknowledged that. Not just for the markets, but for consumers.
Right.
Because we're going to feel that, right?
And the bottom line is China is in this for the long term, right? I mean, Xi is now effectively ruler for life. Donald Trump is ruler until 2020. 2018. Well, 2020. But so, how is this going to play out? The
president still says
he's still saying
the premier needs us more than we need him.
Right. And if China does tit for tat, effectively all of the U.S. exports into China would be taxed if China goes that route. That's a big deal. But the Chinese premier is already saying that last week they will ease market access. They will back off on, stop forcing intellectual property sharing to avoid a trade war. So what this
will
could
that be enough if they make good on it?
Here's the point. Hang on. Remember when the Soviet Union, when Daniel Patrick Moynihan said, listen, we overestimated the strength of the Soviet Union. And then when the Soviet Union collapsed, it ripped the lid off of the problems they're in. China has only $4,800 per capita income, $4,800. They've got tremendous poverty. They have a debt bomb, and they have health crises in China. But they do
so you're in the crowd that says they'll bend first.
But they will, but they are also in it for the long game.
Okay, Charlie, who bends first? And I will get to you, I promise.
Ultimately, I think we'll have to bend first.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think that.
Let Steve go.
I think that there's a compromise, and it's pretty simple. The United States dollar is the world's reserve currency. That's great. That's wonderful. It gives us lots of special privileges, but there's also something horrible about it. It's overvalued.
Right.
It's much more. It's dramatically overvalued relative to the yuan.
Because we run deficits.
Right. That's why. Exactly right, Charlie. We run deficits. What we could do,
which we didn't run when Sputnik was going.
Right. No, we did not. And what we could do is force China to dramatically revalue their yuan, which I think they want to do anyway. This should not be happening. They do.
Even if they make concessions, here's what I wonder. How do you do the Ronald Reagan thing, trust but verify? How do you check?
Well, the trust but verify in this one is not weapons. You trust by just looking at your Bloomberg screen. If you see the yuan trading at
you realize that they're a competitor to us.
What's that?
Bloomberg competes with us. Do you realize that?
Well, they got to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, you look at the newspaper. Or you don't have to look at. I mean, you look at a Fox News feed. You look at anything and see where the yuan.
You know where you are right now.
I am so sorry.
But Neil, let's be real clear here. China has opened up to us. Okay, they have opened up to us increasingly.
Oh, but it's been glacial.
But you know why? You know why they've opened up? We want to do business there. I'm telling you, every American company wants to do business there because it's a burgeoning middle class. It is a market that is up for grabs, and if we don't do business there, our economy is going to get crushed.
Yeah, that's why Boeing's getting hit,
developing market.
Yeah, look what they can do to Boeing.
Well, the president did point that out. They've been embarrassed. The one thing about a trade war, you realize the dirty little secrets each side exposes on the other. And what's been exposed about the Chinese is they don't play clean or fair.
That's right.
No, they don't. And the big issue is intellectual property theft is an ongoing issue.
Right.
Make hogs great again. Make pork products.
Steve, any final comment?
Make pork products great again.
My final comment is to look for a win-win situation. Everybody's looking for a win-win. Do you think we're going to have one? I think it's possible. And I really do. China's now trading oil in yuan. They want their yuan to be more important. Let them have it. Let them revalue their yuan. Call them a currency manipulator. Let the yuan go to 0.20 and never look at Bloomberg terminals. They never give you good advice.
Keep our own hogs here.
All right, guys, thank you. That does it all.